Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Team Building with Zooch, where I take a live guest and team build with them for a matchup. And then afterwards, I'll go ahead and review the replay, talk about how I think the team performed, and everything else that goes with it. So without further ado, we have another PokeTuber with us here today. We got the chef himself. Who? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up? So who, if you guys don't know who, has been killing it lately? Wi-Fi, DPL is actually what we're playing for. He's been doing really, really well everywhere. So big fan of your game. You do definitely play in an orthodox style for SV, but I'm excited to have you on and build this matchup we got here.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think this matchup's going to be very favorable in that type of build style, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I
yeah,
I looked at it a little bit, and yeah, I agree. I definitely think because of how like your team is like structured, we are still going to be like a pretty bulky team, but I see a
yeah,
couple of things we can do to kind of like deal with this team, especially because like I mentioned to you before, I just played this team last week, so my team is not obviously the same as yours, but I can kind of still remember all like the weaknesses and kind of stuff I looked at when trying to build for this. So
yeah,
it
for
is
sure.
piloted by a different player though, 3D. So um, but yeah, so looking at your team like right away, so there's one guy that kind of sticks out. I think that absolutely destroys him, and it is Keldeo. I think Keldeo is really, really tough for him. Even like a spec set, because really the only answer, in my opinion, is the Shaman, right? And
Hmm.
Shaman is kind of tricky to like EV and stuff for Keldeo because of the whole Secret Sword hitting defenses. So I feel like if Shaman is designed to take on Keldeo, it's probably going to actually be more defensive, and it'll help too with like Trez, I suppose, and stuff like that. So I think if we slap
Yeah,
on like a specs like Focus Blast set, like it'll do a 70 minimum, I think. And once that like thing takes that much chip, like just Water Move is completely free into his team. And obviously Vacuum Wave is really nice too for Darkrai, or like a Scale Shot and Guard Chomp or whatever. I think looking at his team, like what he's going to try to do here is obviously the worst thing for like teams like yours is like knockoff. Like knockoff span is really hard for you. You don't want to lose the Soul Vest and boots and all that stuff. And he just have probably like one of the best knock users in Darkrai. So what I think he's gonna
yeah,
probably do, right, is just like try to knock as much things as possible, and then like overwhelm me with like setup, right, with like these three guys.
yeah. I think that's what he's going to do too, because the guy who builds 3D's teams,
Mm-hmm.
Panda,
Oh, it
he
is
was my
Panda.
captain for. Yeah, he builds his team, so
Okay.
he's my captain for Draft League World Cup. So he knows I like to spam the shit out of AV Aloe,
Yep.
especially. So he's definitely going to have like knockoff probably.
Yeah, I mean it is good. There really only is two knock users, and I don't know if Mew will have it. Mew probably is gonna be better setting up here. So it really is just Darkrai. But
Yeah.
even if Alamola does get knocked off, like I still think a Spadef Alamola takes two of like any Darkrai hit, unless it's like maybe Thunder or some crazy shit. Um,
Oh yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yeah,
yeah,
Thunder.
yeah,
Oh,
could have
hits the
Thunder.
Killio too.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like even Darkrai could technically be like knockoff, and then like Dark Pulse, Thunder, Nasty Plot, or Dark Pulse, Thunder, Ice Beam, or something like another coverage move. Um, and then everything else would be kind of set up. So kind of how I think you win this game is just getting Keldeo in as much as possible, which means like having slow pivots into it. Because again, once you chip Shaman,
Yeah,
he literally picks to Keldeo. He doesn't have any play. Um,
yeah,
and so like what I'm thinking here is, I do think AV Aloe might be like kind of telegraphed here, but I do think it probably is still your best set here. Um, it can help with again initial Darkrai pivot, just slow pivot into it, and then flip turn out into whatever. Or just again, it's a pivot into Peshron, it's a pivot into Corviknight, like it's a pivot into a lot of things here. And when I
yeah,
build against an Alamola, like I've actually built against you, not me, but like I've helped people build against you like twice, and like Alamola obviously does not like substitute. Um, and if I'm looking at him, like a substitute target could be like a bulky Mew or a bulky Keldeo. But I think ways to kind of get around that is by having something like, so if we're talking about Keldeo, for example, like besides Amamola, what can kind of help with Keldeo a little bit? And that's maybe like a Spadef Braviary or like a faster Meowscarada or maybe Hydrapple, like things like that. So I think we kind of just have to like look at Aloe when we build this set and kind of think of, okay, what
hmm,
can take advantage of Aloe, and then just have something for that, if that kind of makes sense to you.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, but what do you think about Specs Keldeo first? Because that was the thing I was gonna put on the builder first, but I don't know if you like Specs really, or if you want like a different kind of set here.
Specs is probably okay. My main issue is like He obviously has like stuff that like can resist both Surf and Secret Sword pretty well. Mew, Shaman, Petrunts. So I was looking at like Life Orb. Cause
Hmm.
like what's like the main drawback of Life Orb, right? I'm chipping myself into like a vacuum wave range.
Yeah.
It's not like his hazards I think are necessarily really good
Hmm.
because the Garchomp has a really good matchup with Scale Shot,
Hmm.
especially because my Carbink is Fairy. So
Yeah.
I mean, if he is bringing hazards, it's probably going to be on like
He doesn't
well,
really
I have
have any
Garchomp
other.
on you, but
Yeah. He
yeah, he
doesn't.
doesn't really have much, and like plus his removal is Corviknight. So like
Exactly.
if you're going to defog away your own hazards, then
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. I'm down with Life Orb. Let's just look at a couple calcs real quick, versus Shaman because that is obviously the big. Not
Yeah, because even
Shaman.
if Shaman switches in, Kelly like Air Slash like pretty much demolishes it.
Let's see. Let's just give it max HP for now. Let's do Icy or not Icy Wind. Air Slash. Air Slash, and then I want to look at Secret Sword, and I want to look at Focus Blast. Okay. Um. Yeah. So especially if you get like a Spike Up or something, even if it's like Spadef, Air Slash should two-shot it, or like a Secret Sword into Air Slash. Um. And also, too, you could be Terra. I do think Terra's probably going to be best on Hydrapple here. You're probably going to need it for, like, the Garchomp, for example, because your like you said, your
Yeah,
fairy is Carbink. Um,
yeah.
so it's probably going to be end up being a Terra Fairy Hydrapple at first glance. And I do have a kind of an idea because obviously Terra Fairy Hydrapple is pretty walled by Corvi. Um, but
Yeah, that's like,
you
yeah.
you can run the set that comes to mind for that is you could do either Fickle or Dragon Pulse. Fickle just because the pressure could be annoying, but you're gonna have either one of those. I would probably lean Fickle just to do more to Pecharunt plus Terra Blast, recover, and then I'm thinking Yawn right as the fourth move because if you Yawn the Corviknight coming in, it's either going to sleep or it's fast U-turning and something else has to take a Fickle Beam and nothing wants to take a Fickle Beam, right? So that is kind of a
Mhm.
way to get past that. And again, if he wants to just let Corviknight go to sleep, that is okay. He has to sleep for one turn. Bang, you just go Keldeo and click your button, right? So it does kind of put him in the back foot a little bit. He might think that Corviknight just infinitely walls it, but it's gonna get put to sleep. So that is an idea for Hydrapple. I'm down for Life Orb though. It's just again, if your Life Orb, you're potentially taking hazards, and then you're gonna be taking a 10% every hit. The health on Keldeo really isn't that important though. Again, it's really just a vacuum wave range. I don't know. I don't even know if he's gonna have vacuum wave on his own Keldeo if he brings it. I mean, he will. There's a mascot
Probably
run.
for
Yeah,
Meow Squad, I imagine.
yeah, he will. For sure he will because what does he need? Just stab and vacuum wave, like. Yeah. I mean, he could literally be just like stab, calm mind, or just locked, or he could have Terra Blast too if he wants to Terra it. That was another thing too when I was building for this matchup. Like it was kind of hard to tell what he wanted to Terra between Mew and
Yeah.
Keldeo. They're both really good Terra users. I don't even think about, but I don't think we need to Terra Keldeo. We can like show a Terra if we want to kind of. We could be like Terra Flying, for example, right? Just to kind of literally not have Shaman come in because it'll just die to a Air Slash if you Terra Flying. Terra Flying
Yeah, well, if
does.
you don't get off Terra immediately, yeah.
Yeah. That is something that you might want to because if you look at our team and we don't have the fairy yet on this guy, what is our play into Garchomp?
Garchomp, yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah,
It probably has to be like a hard Carbink then into Hydrapple. But if it just EQs, it's kind of bad. So
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of rough.
yeah. Okay, so let's throw Keldeo real quick on the team because that guy has to come. There's no reason not for it to come. As far as attacks wise, we definitely want Vacuum Wave. I think we just want a Water move, right? I don't know if you like Pump or Surf better.
Probably Surf. It's
Yeah.
like Fizz Corv. Secret Sword probably isn't doing a whole lot.
Yeah, and I'm usually a bigger fan of the accurate moves, but sometimes, you might need Pump maybe for like Pecharon or something if you want to like blow that thing back. I don't know if that makes a difference. How much does Hydro do?
Maybe for like Petrunct, but
Yeah, it'll
I
still
don't know.
get
That's
two.
their bring.
Uh,
Could be.
It could be for Hydrapple, potentially.
Yeah, they predict Terra Fairy. Yeah.
Yeah. Even just like in general, yeah, unless we're like Terra, like something super effective for this. Pestilence could be a bit annoying with that, yeah. So it could be Spit F, yeah. But even if it's max Spit Def, like after like one hazard, like Surf will probably still two-shot it, or be close at least.
Yeah, min 40. So
Yeah, it'll be close.
yeah.
Okay. We can stick with Surf. And then we want either, so we definitely want a fighting move. We could do Secret Sword or we could do Focus Blast. What do we want? Secret Sword.
Secret Sword is just reliable. If it's like Spinef Shaman, then Air Slash into Secret Sword probably kills after like rocks. Rather than having to rely on Focus Blast, that could feel pretty bad.
Yeah. Um, I'm also thinking if we're going Air Slash or Icy Wind, but I think we probably need the damage on Air Slash because I don't think Icy Wind
Yeah.
is gonna do enough. It'd be good for Chomp, but Surface will do a lot to that guy anyway. So let's just throw Air Slash and Secret for now. Now I don't think we should necessarily be absolute max speed to speed tech Keldeo. We can be, but I don't think it's ever going to be in our best interest to like risk the speed tie anyway, unless we like absolutely have to. Because we should, with our build, we should have like a play into Keldeo.
Well, if we don't speed side Keldeo, are we
Like
able to run like Modest or whatever?
I think so because so so you could be safe or you could be aggressive, right? There's no reason for Chomp and the base 100s to have like much speed, in my opinion at least here, right? Like what
Yeah.
speed tier are they going to? They're probably gonna go to like they're probably gonna want to outspeed Meowscarada at +1 speed. These guys, whatever that speed is, that's what I would do. I think.
Hmm.
So I don't think that's gonna be much speed, right? Like they're already pretty fast. Like a +1, do they even need speed? Like they're gonna have very little speed. I think like something like this. I feel like would be their speed. So if we even go down to like 260 maybe to be like a little bit safe, I think that's completely fine. It would be sucky. It would be very sucky if they do outspeed our Keldeo. So that's up to you if you want to be a bit safer. Keldeo is definitely our best Pokemon here. It's just if we value the bulk or if we want like the extra power with Modest or just to be safe. I don't necessarily think we need the extra power, but it could be nice and the bulk could be certainly nice as well. Like if we have to take a hit from their Keldeo, for example.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Pesherant, So me personally, I would be aggressive and I would creep this. That's your call though. I usually, whenever I do these sessions, I usually like let the person's preference to dictate how much speed they put. And I played their Garchomp last week and had 0 speed. My 80 EV Landorus there and outsped it, and I just taunted it. So if it's a setup
Well,
set
weren't they
again,
tank shop?
yeah, they were right. So I was gonna say if it's a setup set, they could be like pretty speedy. But again, I would rather just be very bulky and like be set up anyway, right? Versus your team. So again, me personally, I'm gonna make that aggressive speed creep here, but it's your call at the end of the day. If you'd rather just be like faster than Trump, timid.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Might be less Chomp I'm worried about, more so like Mew, because Mew wants to be like Pestilent.
Wants to outspeed what, like max speed Pesherant?
Yeah,
We can.
because it's like a Pestilent mirror, and their ghost is just pretty bad.
Yeah, I did notice that too. What's Pesherant's min speed or max speed? 302. So we would have to go to like 305. So I don't know if we can get away with Modest with that, can we? Oh, we can. We could do that. I'm down with that. Again, we wouldn't really have much bulk on Keldeo, but it's probably not the end of the world. We're sending this guy in to deal some damage, not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if they're gonna creep max speed Pesh, they'll probably go to like 30, 304, 303, 304. So I'm down for like 305 to be safe. And
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah.
All right. All right, that's good. Okay.
I don't think they go above that other than to like punish Modest Killdeal,
Yeah,
which I don't think they. Yeah.
they really shouldn't. Yeah. Um, there's just it's just once you're so bulky with these guys, like it's just so much easier to set up, right? So I feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna just be bulky, you know. All right, another guy. Yeah, we definitely need is the. What do you think, Fairy Hydrapple, right? Or do you think another type looks good here? I feel like it's got to be Fairy.
Well, if it's a stop like instead of Chomp, like Scale Shot Chomp,
Yeah,
probably. I
yeah.
mean, Hydrapple doesn't necessarily have to be Fairy to stop the Chomp unless it's like super chipped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it
Because
does.
Hydrapple is just like that fat.
Yeah, I mean stopping the scale shot is really nice though for because then you always have two. I'm assuming if we bring Mouse Scouter, do you have two guys to always like just kill it? And I mean Fairy in general looks like not bad. Again, it's just Corviknight is a wall, and then
Yeah, Corviknight.
Pecharunt
You should
can
have to
come
run
in.
Yawn.
Right, I do think Yawn is ideal if we do go Fairy. Pecharunt can
Yeah,
also come
I agree.
in, but it can take a big hit in return. I know I said Yawn, like Fickle, Terra Blast, recover. Technically, we don't need Terra Blast because Fickle still does a shitload to these guys anyway. So we could be something like Earth Power or something to hit this guy a bit more. Also, so we don't have to
Hmm.
risk like Fickle beaming in front of the Corby if we're like anticipating a U-turn. Because if he stays in like pressure, it's really sucky. Um,
Hmm.
so he could be something like Earth Power or does he get Shadow Ball even something like that as a
No, it doesn't
secondary?
get Shadow Ball.
No, it doesn't. I haven't used this guy. I really want to, but is it like Dark Pulse? No. Earth
No.
Power would be like the hit, huh? Yeah. So that would be an idea. Again, you would yawn expecting Corviknight to come in because like what else wants to take a Fickle Beam? There's really just nothing that takes a Fickle
Yeah.
Beam. So with this set, you would technically like not be able to like we're not boosting or anything here. So like something like a Shaman or Pecharunt, not Pecharunt really, but Shaman could probably come in and just like kind of synth on you over and over. But I still think that's
Yeah.
okay because you're just gonna basically like condition him to recover. Like you're good enough to know like on turn he's gonna click recover that he has to, and then you can just make a hard play into like Meowscarada or Braviary or whatever Pecharunt even, um, to go from there. I do really like Meow here too because like you said the only remover is Corviknight and Spikes absolutely destroy his team. It hits everything besides Corviknight. And again, you're a good enough player if you have like several spikes up and Corviknight comes in, like Defog is coming, you can just go hard Keldeo on that or hard Pecharunt or something to take advantage of
Yeah.
Corviknight, So for this, I probably would be like Fizdef, like pretty Fizdef. It helps for Garchomp. It helps for the potential DD Mew. I don't know if Mew is going to be special or physical here.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, it's just Mew. It could literally be anything.
I would say probably special because I have the Petulant.
Yeah, and it could always be like Psyshock too for Mola, AV Mola,
Yeah.
if it wants to be that. It also would potentially carry Vacuum Wave too. Probably special then, yeah. Special's
Yeah,
probably
Petulant and Drapple.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of tough for it.
yeah. So we can be Fizdef. I don't necessarily think we have to be like fully Fizdef for Garchomp, but if Special Mew comes, Garchomp really is like the kind of the only physical threat, right? So we probably have to look at some calcs. You probably used Hydrapple versus Chomp before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so I don't know if you necessarily need like fully Fizdef if you're Terra Fairy to like.
Terra Fairy specifically, I ran Terra Ghost, so I was Fizdef. But if
Okay.
it's Terra Fairy, you probably don't need that much.
So this is max Fizdef here. So if they like SD on a switch, for example, I mean even then it's
I mean, that's why I ran Draco Meteor, so that
you just one
over
shot
Fickle
it.
Beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draco works too. Draco also has APP, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah, and then lowering your special attack is always never epic. I mean, I think with this game plan, if we bring Meow, we're probably gonna have some spike up. Like I don't know. I think they might just like bring in Chomp. I don't know necessarily if they're gonna just go for like the setup immediately, or go for like hazards, or go for like just an attack to kind of see what your play is.
Mm-hmm.
I think worst case scenario though, even if we are this set and we fickle beam and do like, you know, like let's say we do like just 80 to it or something, we
That's in
can,
vacuum wave range, yeah,
yeah, it's
or
in
like
vacuum.
spikes range.
Right, and then you can also, you know, you could make a switch if you want. You could throw away the Hydro Apple. This type of set would probably be mostly just for the guard chomp. Um, but ideally, like we probably have a couple spikes up, and then it'll just die to fickle anyway. Um, is there any? I'm trying to think if there's any other Terra type that's better here, but
Like Ghost.
yeah, like Ghost could be a thing. It makes you obviously weaker to Darkrai, and I guess Pesheron.
Because like, as long as we live like 2 skill shots, then we just be like offensive and kill the Garchomp back with Fickle Beam.
Well, I'm thinking, so again, we're assuming like they Swords Dance on your switch into Hydrapple, right? So if you're Ghost, yeah, I mean we could probably. Oh, this is max special attack too, though. Oh shit. I don't know if we're gonna be able to just one shot his ass, and but again, I think
Myself investment, yeah. No, probably not.
no, yeah, no, because again, this is also no bulk Garchomp too, huh?
Yeah.
So it's probably best to just. I think it probably is best just to be. We don't need max Fizz Def though. Okay, let's assume like Adamant. We're gonna probably be Boots, right? So ideally we don't take any damage before. As long as
But
we.
like, if he's not saying Hazard of Garchomp though, who's he saying up of? Mew?
That's what I'm saying. Like Hazard, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He. If I'm him, yeah, I don't know. Like if I'm him again, and I see your team and I've seen how you play, like I'm gonna assume you're gonna probably be Boots in a lot of things anyway. So if I probably wouldn't bring a Hazard Setter or maybe just a Stealth Rocker in Garchomp, because technically you could just be Rocks SD stab here. I guess you're walled by like Balloon Terra Fairy something, or Balloon Carbink, but I don't know if he's gonna really care about that. I think,
Yeah, probably not.
yeah, I don't see him being Rocks and Spikes here, but even then, what you could do, I wouldn't say you yawn it. No. I think you probably just be fit, like, as long as you have enough bulk to take like a +2 hit, which it looks like you don't even need any defense probably to live. This is only 4 hits. Let's just say 5. Well, for Terra Fairy, it actually doesn't matter. So it looks like even with like no defense, you still take it. You are risking crit here though. Whereas if for max Fizz, do we die to crit? No. It's a roll. Yeah, I think when building with these like types of teams, you need to be just very careful of like crit, because I think once like a certain Pokemon falls in this matchup, like you just like kind of start to crumble over, right? Like once one of your defensive pieces, like if for some reason Hydrapple dies, like doesn't Garchomp kind of just like kill everything?
Yeah. Let's have like Scarf, Meow, something.
Yeah. I think Scarf, or I think Pads could be good, because even like Meow, if you look at Meow, like just knockoff into U-turn is really strong into his team. Like I was literally thinking like not Scarf, but Pads with like knock, Axel, U-turn, spikes, because again I think you want spikes versus him. If we bring Carbink, then obviously we could put spikes on that guy. If we don't, then I think spikes is really good here. I think it's probably.
If we do that though, what's our Darkrai outs Revenger?
So
I guess Keldeo?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking like again, Mola just slow flip turn Keldeo, right? Or even if we bring like Braviary, like the Braviary Darkrai interaction, Braviary can take a hit from Darkrai too, if we need it to. So I was thinking actually again like a Svidef Braviary, right, with slow U-turn. So again, we have all these slow pivots, and Braviary can actually underspeed his entire team if Corviknight doesn't go like minus speed. You have all these like slow pivots into just Keldeo. I think that's kind of the formula for winning this game. again, if something like a Mew comes in, for example, though, and Dragon Dances, like, okay, then obviously that plan doesn't work. But that's when we have something like potentially like a Pesheron or a Hydrapple that can take these hits and do some damage to at least put it in Keldeo range, or put it in if we have Sucker Punch range, or whatever the heck we have for it. Like, we can't just have nothing for it. But I do think slow pivots is kind of the way to go for this team. We could try to build like an offensive team, like offensive treads looks not bad here, right? You just have an earthquake, supercell, and like mega horn or something like that. Doesn't look bad for coverage. I do think offensive Pesheron actually has some merit here too, because as you pointed out, it's
Mm-hmm.
just Corviknight as the Shadow Ball resist. And what is Corviknight gonna do? Like, slow U-turn? Okay, like it's gonna take chip, and then eventually, if that goes down, like,
Yeah.
then Scrata is really good, and etc. So um, I do think this matchup is winnable, but I am probably leaning towards like a just Fizz-Def Hydrapple here, because Garchomp, in my opinion, is probably the scariest threat, I think. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Plot Darkrai is there. Mew is obviously always a wild card, but at least from what we like know is coming, like, yeah, I definitely think Chomp is probably the play here. So I probably would lean Fairy here. Because again, if you're Ghost, you're weaker to Darkrai and Pesheron, and then also if we're Ghost, we probably don't need to be the whole Yawn set, because then we can technically be Corviknight and we can have another move.
Yeah.
But I think with Terra Fairy, like, we kind of bait in the Corviknight a little bit with a Yawn, and then that's how we get like either Corviknight to sleep or something else is going to take a big Fickle. So I think that could work well. I don't think he's going to expect Yawn on Hydrapple here. I really don't.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah, the
probably lean
Yonsl's
with,
good.
yeah, I would probably lean with like Fizz-Def here. This move can be changed. I don't really know what the best like move here is. It could be Terra Blast, it could be Earth Power. Again, it's probably something for like, again, I put Earth Power for Pesheron, but Fickle Beam is there. If I knew for sure like they wouldn't be Terra Fairy, I would literally just go double Dragon move. But we don't want to be walled by a Terra Fairy guy. I don't think Terra Fairy really makes sense into into you, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we could just leave it for now, Earth Power. But
We can leave River Power. Yeah, we can leave that.
yeah, realistically, we can change it probably later. I do think we want boots on this guy though. Any chip means we probably die to Chomp if they do manage to bring like rocks and stuff like that. So again, pretty basic set, but I do think kind of needed for Garchomp, which sucks, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So but yeah, so now we need our pivots, right? So I'm thinking to round the team out, right? Like the mons I mentioned were like Meow, Pesha, Mola, Braviary, but that was a very quick like thought. Treads does look solid. If we don't bring Treads, then we don't. Well, technically Braviary can carry Defog too. If we don't bring Treads, we don't have removal, but that's not a big deal if we go boot spam on a lot of guys. Or again, their hazards aren't really that great, so we don't really need spin.
Yeah.
Carbink is if
Just
we want
you're
to
not bringing
step down.
Carbink.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the two mons for sure that we need out of the last four are Mola and Pesh. I think Pesh looks really. The thing is, like, Pesh, like they have this super effective stab right here into Pesheron, plus like a Keldeo that does a lot of damage. But I feel like we might need Pesheron to like do a lot of damage to like their guys. Like, they don't really switch into Pesheron, for example, and we can easily run probably like it's either going to be a Colbert or a Sugarberry. Probably Colbert, right? Because our whole Hydrapple is meant for Garchomp, so we shouldn't need a Sugarberry on that guy. Or it could be Pyapa Berry, right? And then we could pretty much always live anything that Mew does. It's one of the two. I'm kind of leaning actually maybe Pyapa, just because if we bring the AV
He's a bit of a more wild card.
Right. Yeah, if we bring the AV Mola, like, we know for sure like that can at least come in a couple of times on the Darkrai before it gets like knocked off and then maybe Plot Thundered or whatever. Whereas this guy, if we're Pyapa, like, what is Mew's not going to be able? It's going to have to be like Plot Earth Power or something like that. But even then, I think Spidef Pesheron might not even live that. So maybe if it's like Terra, like super effective versus Pesheron, then yeah, obviously that would not be good. But
Like Ghost.
Yeah, it could be Ghost. Yeah, with the Ghost resist is like these two. I mean,
Braviary.
yeah, not me out. Yeah, pretty much. It could be Ghost. Yeah, like if they want to block spin too. But again, they're making themselves weaker too.
I don't think they wanted to block spin because they had Petron already. That guy kind of 1v1 treads, low key.
Yeah, if we were to bring treads, I would literally just bring like a knock volt switch set, and then that would be kind of scary for them actually, because if you just volt switch into like Keldeo or into Meow like on Peshron, that's not good for them. So, um, but they could, yeah, they can easily use Peshron to block spin because it will do that. So, I guess AV Mola seems pretty good here, right? If you use it for Darkrai, it's probably gonna. I think we should probably carry Play Rough, just in case, like it's sub. Um,
If it's sub, I think it's probably gonna be like sub wisp.
It can be, but that's honestly not a big deal because even if they burn us, Play Rough into Flip Turn probably still breaks that substitute, and then we threaten a Keldeo. Or, if they're sub Whis, like what's their coverage, right? It's
Yeah, true,
like,
true.
yeah, I don't know if it could be sub
Probably like
Whis.
knock off thunder.
Yeah, I'm thinking knock and then just coverage attacks for sure. I'm kind of curious if we bring Alamomola, AV, and we're into Darkrai, how much does Thunder do after the AV is gone? Oh, it's gonna do a good chunk.
Over 50. Yeah, does a lot.
55. So that into Dark Pulse should kill. So they're gonna have to be knockoff plus Thunder plus Dark Pulse if they want to beat that. Can they afford that? I mean, yeah, they can technically just be knock Dark Pulse Thunder like Sludge Bomb or Ice Beam, one of the two. Maybe Ice Beam to hit Braviary harder. And then I guess.
Yeah, Thunder. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Could be Sludge Bomb then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that would probably be like the most troubling set. But even then, again, ideally we get a Spike Up and they're not boots. So like Mola can still come in once and just be your pivot there. And then you know the set, so then you can kind of be a little bit more, like you could be a little bit proactive in changing your switch-ins if you can. If not, then it is what it is. When they have teams like this, like into like your bulkier teams, it is a bad matchup. Don't get me wrong. It's not great, but I do think like when you're playing against teams like yours, like I feel like players get kind of impatient and they are prone to making more mistakes. I played Theo a lot. He's obviously known for his stall in a lot of gens, and it is definitely frustrating. But he kind of makes just the super safe plays. So the way like he kind of loses is when you either just bring something that he just doesn't expect, or like when you're just super aggressive. And I think being aggressive can work, but if he's like makes it too much of an aggressive play, then he kind of just falls behind. So it's better for you to kind of just have your switch-ins, play safe, and then kind of get a read on how he's playing. If he starts being aggressive early, then maybe you make some plays that you wouldn't otherwise make. You just kind of have to feel out how the game is. This guy's a Smogon player, I think, so I don't really know exactly how he plays.
Yeah, he's on SPL, pretty sure.
Yeah, he's good friends with Lax. I think they just played each other, so it was a good game. So he's a good player. I wouldn't take him easy or anything. But I think we kind of have to go AV Mola, right? If we don't go AV Mola, what is our play into Darkrai? Carbink?
Carbink?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess, right? Like,
Carbink gets spikes up. Yeah. He gets spikes, rocks.
How much does Spidef Carbink tank from, like, Darkrai?
Sludge Bomb?
Yeah, I guess Sludge Bomb would be the hardest hitting move, right?
Not that much. 23 max.
Yeah, 21 if we're like max
Modest even.
Yeah, and obviously body press is a threat there. What's their play into Carbink? How do they take advantage of it?
Corviknight, I would assume. But like, I don't know if he even runs Defog. Because I think like Power Trip, just like bulk up Power Trip sets look pretty good to me.
Yeah. Does this thing get anything for Corby? No, right?
No, just like Misty Explosion. It's like stop Defog, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, this is good for Darkrai. I do think if we bring this set though, then it's gonna be over Alamomola. I don't think we can fit both, unfortunately. Yeah. So, bringing Carbink over Mola does free up a move slot on Meowscarada too. Like we don't have to run spikes on that guy, so that could definitely be useful. And it is a Terra Captain too, but probably not gonna Terra. I
Yeah,
guess
nah, no way.
yeah, it would literally just be like a what, like a spikes rock spot, and then probably body press plus something else. Plus, is Trick Room ever good here? Not really, I don't think. Yeah, I think you did run Trick Room already, right, with this guy? Or on something else?
No, I didn't.
You didn't run Trick Room in any of your games on DPL?
I actually had that in my version of the team I built
With Trick Room? Yeah,
for
okay.
yeah, for choice specs I grapple.
Oh, shit. I mean, yeah, that like, because I'm assuming you're Terra something for Corviknight, right, in that one?
Ghost,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's not a bad idea either. Yeah, I like that. Um,
Or like it was Trickling Carving, then Tailwind Braviary.
yeah, that's cool. Oh, my dog just opened my door. Get out. Oh. So we can try that, but I think if we just stick with this build for now, let's.
Yeah, we can stick with like a more defensive route
Yeah,
for this. It's different like what I have, so I like
yeah.
it.
It's good to try out both though for sure. I don't really know what this last slot should be like.
You only missed the explosion.
It could be, yeah. Sunny Day doesn't help really. And does he get like Endeavor? Does he Endeavor?
Yeah, it does.
Their play might be Pesherant though.
Yeah, fair.
What's the special? Nothing. I mean, I'm fine with Explosion, honestly. If we want to just make sure like that they just can't get rid of the hazards.
It would need like a lot of speed though, because like Corviknight could.
Oh yeah,
It would need, yeah, it would need to outspeed Corviknight, which means you take more from Darkrai.
yeah. I still think Darkrai is not gonna be doing much though, especially for like leftovers too. Like we're probably still okay. Does this thing get like Seismic Toss or anything? No, right?
Nah.
Yeah. Charm. Yeah. Okay. It's probably just gonna be an Explosion angle then. Skill swap. Yeah. Let's put Explosion for now. So okay. We are gonna need speed for Corby though, like you said. I don't know if their Corviknight will run speed here. Let me see.
It will only like run speeds like outspeed Braviary, I guess, but like I don't think you have a reason to.
Yeah, like Braviary doesn't do anything to Corviknight, so
Yeah.
they probably don't run any. Okay. So
You
170.
want slow U-turn anyways on Braviary.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah. I think if we bring Braviary, we're gonna be like literally minus speed. So, but we're gonna need what? Quite a bit. 171, 170, yeah, 140. We'll take it out of Spit Def. 140. So it'd be something like this. So, yeah, I mean, this set does hold off Darkrai. Again, it is kind of just falls over to like literally anything else. But as long as it gets rocks and like checks Darkrai for like, it's not gonna check it infinitely probably, but for as long as possible, then that's good. And again, even with some chip, like
yeah.
literally vacuum wave just straight up kills Darkrai anyway. Again, the worry is that they also bring for some reason like just rock spikes chomp, and then we have limited times with Keldeo. But I think if we fit Braviary, we can technically fit in Defog if we have to. We'll see kind of how the rest of the team, just as an emergency Defog. We wouldn't obviously want to, for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Meow's good here. I think we probably bring it. Again, their obvious switch in is Corby, so
Yeah, Corv or Corv Petrant. Probably Corv.
yeah. We can literally just knock into U-turn though. And then the first time, yeah, the Corviknight can slow U-turn and get momentum. But after that, if we just U-turn on Corviknight coming in, like it should be in range of like a Keldeo hit probably. Or if not,
Yeah.
we can just go Pesheron on it, right, and just get a free attack off. It's not the end of the world. So let's throw Meow here. I do think the moves Knock, Axel, and U-turn are needed. As far as the last slot, it could be Flower Trick just to crit any like Keldeo or Mew that's like setting up not speed wise. Could be Sucker Punch. Could be Taunt. Taunt is obviously a little aggressive versus things like Pesheron or Corviknight, which could just straight up kill you.
Yeah.
But Toxic Spike.
Nah, probably not.
I do like pads too as the item, so I don't know if tricking would be there. Quick attack would be just for like Darkrai or like a scale shotting Garchomp even. Or I guess for Keldeo. Facade, no. It's probably... I'm leaning some sort of... What substitute now? Oh, it could be Thunder Punch too, actually. I didn't even think of that for Corviknight.
For Corv?
Yeah. How much does it
I don't
do?
think you two-shot.
I don't know if
Probably
it
like
two-shots,
40.
but maybe like knock
40
into
probably.
like double Thunder next time would kill it. Let's check.
Oh yeah, probably.
Thunder Punch. Because he's probably not going to roost on the first knock, right? I don't think he would.
Yeah, 38.
Yeah, so knock into double Thunder Punch would get rid of it. How much does Axel do? It's close. I'm thinking I'm thinking Thunder Punch. Again, it could also do more to Keldeo because we don't have Flower Trick. Yeah, I'm thinking either Thunder Punch or like a quick attack thing, which would obviously be very situational, but it can come into handy. Probably Thunder Punch, I'm thinking though.
Probably Thunder Punch. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then I do think we need, pads here though, just in case there's like helmet on Shaman, Corvi, Garchomp, whatever. We do not want to be taking, and even just rough skin too potentially. Chip. So I like pads here. Again, another Pokemon that's not Boots, but one I don't think they bring the rocks and spikes. If they do,
we make carving what's we call item Cobra Cloak? Because I don't really see our Petron switching. Do we have one? Because without the treads, we don't really have one, do we?
So you're right. We're not really, again, because we're not bringing the AV Mola, so we can make this Covert. Yep.
We're blocking both Parting Shot with Clear Body and Malignant Chain.
Yeah, technically, I guess we can.
Let's just run Raw Toxic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toxic could be a thing because it's just Pesha. They could literally just be like what Shadow Ball and Toxic as their coverage, I guess. If we make
that's what last pro against me, and it backfired.
Because, dude, I told him to run a grass move, not Stun Spore, and I think he literally would have won if he had the grass move, but he freaking paralyzed this thing, and then he was walled by it, so, yeah.
Plus 6 Gear Drink wouldn't have Vocoat Aloe.
Right, but I'm thinking, like, you Ice Beam first, so you don't die to Mirror Coat. And then, yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, so if we do make this Covert, the thing is, like, we don't really do anything to Peshron is the thing, right?
we could have like hazards and like that's it.
Yeah, so I mean we can use it as again just to set up hazards on. But yeah, if we leave this, then we do have to have like a plan or something. We can make, if our Peshron is Spadef, can we technically like, I'm thinking like Spadef with like plot to kind of beat theirs. I don't know how much Shadow Ball does to Peshron from a Peshron. I gotta check. Not Hex, but Shadow Ball. If we're like mostly Spadef, we're probably gonna want some speed on this guy, but I'm just gonna check Spadef for now. I think it does too much. It can't really be a switch in. Because especially if they get like a drop or something, that just goes south. Terrible, yeah. Is there anything we can put on this guy to like Carbink? I want to see. It's gonna be terrible damage, but I just want to see.
X.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, even then, you just link Corbin for free to defog.
Yeah. So the only other thing is like just go Mola instead, but then I think we need spikes on Meow.
Yeah, it means no T-punch.
Can they? I guess Peshron can try to take advantage of Mola too, though, if it's like sub. Like.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
That's like that's a good point. I feel like they have to have like a summon somewhere.
They definitely will. I could see it on a multiple targets actually. Like the things that Mola can pivot into. Like so, I think Peshron can easily because like again like we said, our resist is like Baby Ari, but like
Yeah.
sub with just like Malignant Chain is very annoying for that guy. Like we just get poisoned, you're cooked. Um, so it seems like it seems like Peshron is probably actually seems like the hardest guy for us here.
They need ring treads then.
Yeah, so that could be our rocker. So if we would replace Carbank with treads, what can we use for treads? Would we be special treads here? Probably not, right? I think Earthquake probably still does a decent chunk. Would we be like Clear Amulet, you thinking?
Uh,
I mean, like Shadow Ball still does a solid
that's
chunk to treads.
fine. Yeah, Shadow Ball still is like a lot if you're not AV.
We'd probably have to be like Spit Def invested. All right, let's make a tread set real quick. Iron tread. So what would we want for this team? It would probably be a rocker, right? So rocks, EQ. We could just do instead of like Mega Horn, fucking Supercell. We could just do like Volt Switch instead, and just
Yeah,
Volt
Volt's
Switch on those
fun.
guys. So it'd be like
Yeah.
rocks, yeah, rocks, EQ, Volt, and then the last slot can be could be like Ice Spinner if we want to just hit the chomp super hard. Can just be knockoff. Like knockoff is also really just always a good click. Or like Mega Horn really.
Or just do spin.
We can do spin, yeah,
Try to spin.
yeah. And I guess if Peshron's alive, you can just Volt Switch and then go into either your Peshron
Yeah.
or your Keldeo if it's in range or
Paldea,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's do rocks first. Volt, EQ, spin. So is there any like Terra type that kind of screws us over here with this set? I mean, we can always just Volt on anything that doesn't like ground, right?
Yeah,
So,
like tear grass. Like
yeah,
we just will. Yeah.
we just Volt.
Sorry.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So here's another thing. Do we want to be faster than?
Well, if we don't have ice spinner, I don't know there's much of a point being faster than like
Yeah,
max start.
we would probably just do this speed, right? Again for the base 100s.
Yeah.
Jolly, jolly. But again, I think we should probably be like Spit Def. Let me see how much Peshron does with Shadow Ball to treads. That's no bulk. For like max. Does about a quarter. If we're like leftovers and they parting shot on our switch to treads, how do they screw us with his Keldeo? It's not a big deal.
Keldeo, Garchomp.
Yeah.
Yep. Or Mew setup.
Well, Mew setup we can just Volt Switch on it first.
Yeah.
And then we're probably gonna go into probably Peshron first because we don't at first we're not gonna know. It also depends on the Terra type, whatever it shows. If we go like Hydrapple or if we go Mola or Pesha. So we probably want this guy to be Spit Def then. It could potentially take a hit from Darkrai too. So we're probably gonna want. Can we do plus special attack here? I don't know if we can hit 305. Oh, we can, but we don't want to actually. I'm trolling. Yeah, so it would be something like this. All right, or if we want some attack. So with 252. Yeah, I do think probably if we're not clear amulet, we probably do want leftovers here. If we're gonna be switching into Peshron over and over.
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of our hardest thing. So with this build, we would have like Mola too. So we would have our switch into Peshron, our switch into Darkrai, and then our switch into Garchomp. Those are like the three. Well, Peshron, but these two are the two like most like annoying for us. And then I think based on
Mhm.
the Terra types, like we kind of have to decide what are we throwing into that, those types. But I think this is fine. This is okay. Um, Again, I don't think this guy is gonna be really dishing out much damage, so I don't really see a point
Yeah,
in investing into. I guess we can check versus Pestron real quick. I mean, it's still doing. Oh wait, that's
that's still like decent.
yeah. If you get a
Like
rock
at
up,
top.
like yeah,
Yeah,
it's a 2-shot. Yeah, and you're always faster than it too. So
yeah.
that's fine. So we can probably just be bulky, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to, if we do run the leftovers, we want a lefties number though. So that's 84, 68, 52. And then we can just go like that. That's fine. Do you think leftovers is good here, or do you think like a resist berry could be good here, or lumberry? What do you think?
Well, if we want to get rocks up guaranteed, we probably want cloak or what's it call it? Uh,
Amulet.
yeah,
So we can just throw it in versus Pestron and just click rocks no matter what. Yeah, I
yeah.
like
Because
that.
otherwise, when are we getting rocks?
It would probably have to be like versus like a shaman or Mew, but other than that, no. Yeah, we would have to like send it in versus Pestron and hope they just like attack. But yeah, if they parting, it's kind of shitty. So I'm down for that. You could just throw it in and get your rocks up.
Yeah,
Clear amulet. Okay, that's cool. And again, so they should pivot like what Corviknight right on this guy. But if we rocks, then we can volt and let's get this guy out the field. Go Pestron. And then probably based, they're not gonna just Brave Bird, right? Treads. So I think based off how much chip we do from the volt, you should be able to tell. It's probably not gonna be in just an attack right away.
yeah, probably not.
If it's at 100%. So if it's not, you'd go Pestron then, and then you could do whatever if it defogs. But once it's in range of a surf, you can probably just volt right into Keldeo and click your button. Yeah, again, I don't think the Terra type really matters. It would just be a bluff, but we're probably going to Terra Hydrapple early anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be running no spikes unless we want to put spikes on Meow. I do like having the Thunder Punch though, because we don't want to be like walled by
Yeah, Thunder Punch
Corviknight
is
like
pretty nice
too much here.
because we're just getting more defog opportunities.
Oh my god, but you know what would be good, man? Defog into freaking Defiant, but we still don't even
So
do
we
much.
do no damage.
Yeah, we don't do much damage to Corviknight. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Okay, let's do the Mola. So I think the Mola has to be Assault Vest then, if it's for our Dark
Right.
Eye. Yeah. I mean, it could probably take some hits from Keldeo too, like, you do the spread like, what is it, like this or something, right?
Yeah.
We want to be actually no speed here because we want to be slower than Corviknight at all cost. We would probably run like Flip, Play Rough, Scald,
Aqua Jet.
Aqua Jet, Scald. I mean, Scald is okay.
I mean, if we want to we're gonna get knocked off, we could just put like Healing Wish.
Healing Wish we can, yeah. Like if we're expecting to see it knocked off anyway. I mean, I'm down for that, honestly. Jet, Scald, Mirror Coat. What else works? Icy Wind, Alluring Voice.
Icy Wind. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Slowing down the Darkrai is very good too for Meow. It's just for U-turn. I mean, I think majority of the time you're clicking Flip Turn with this thing anyway, but
Yeah. I mean, Aqua Jet might be more useful, just like in case it's like 1 HP Mew or something.
yeah, Jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for Jet. I don't think this last move is really gonna make a huge difference. I want to see how much, real quick, we're doing to Darkrai though with this guy. Mola over into Darkrai. Yeah, I mean, even if he like burns you, like There's still a good chance that you break, but even if not, like this into this should always break this up anyway. So it's not a big deal.
Well, what if I'm max attack?
Oh god. If you're max attack, then it'll, I mean, to no bulk.
The player does over half.
Yeah, so it'll always break sub if you're burned anyway. I mean, we can be, so that means you're just gonna have no defense. So how much does something like a Paldea Secret Sword do?
Oh, maybe not.
I mean, I guess if it's like Terra.
Yeah, it would have to be specs.
Yeah, or Terra fighting or something.
I don't think you bring Terra fighting.
I mean, from preview, the only fighting resist is Pesherant. But, yeah. Because, like, a spec surf is still going to do a
I think it's just going to be, like, probably, like, CM. So
it
probably.
Could be. Yeah, it could be for sure. And again, but that's interesting because it just always gets revenged by Flower Trick. We just slow flip turn. So.
Well, flip turn wouldn't break sub.
Oh, you think sub CM? Oh, you said sub CM? I thought you said CM.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. How much does U-turn do to it though? Does like flip turn into U-turn from Meow break? Oh, but if he's vacuum wave, what would he be then? He wouldn't be vacuum wave, right? If he's sub CM.
Well, sub CM, vacuum wave, surf.
Yeah, I could see that then. Yeah. That would be a bit tricky then. Yeah, we'd have to go like. I mean, we would have to just play rough, I guess, to break the sub. Which I guess if he's not Terra, then you always do. So that sub wouldn't really do anything to this guy, actually. So I don't think that's anything you have to worry about.
The KO5 brought like a Terra Water sub. My Aloe.
Did he?
Yeah, BBR. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess play rough won't break that sub then, huh?
It was like max HP, max defense.
Yeah.
Paldea.
Yeah. So I guess you didn't have anything to like slow flip turn to take advantage. You didn't have like a fast encore or anything like that.
Oh. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
It was faster than Mew. I had encore Mew, but it was slower.
Oh, so you were like no speed Mew.
Or no, Kelly was just faster than Mew.
Well, yeah, but you said he was like max bulk. That's why.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know at the time. I couldn't know at the time.
Right. I got you. We could do alluring voice. Like that could be a thing too for that shit. But
I don't think it's gonna do anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't. If he subs and then CMs, it doesn't actually confuse, right? Because it's behind a sub. Or it's a voice move. Actually, I think it would. It's a sound move.
It goes through, but like, it's not gonna do any damage.
Yeah, it's just gonna confuse. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So what's our play into sub CM Keld then? It's a little bit tricky, actually.
Yeah. That's why I didn't like building defensively.
Well, the thing is though, if he's Terra Water, like can't you slow? Oh, but vacuum wave. Fuck. I was gonna say you could just go Meow, you turn into Aloe over and over.
Yeah.
Vacuum wave. So he'd be mono surf for an attack. Like this thing doesn't get anything else, right? And we're assuming like Terra Water is what you're saying, or Terra just something.
Well, it doesn't have to be Terra Water. It could just be like Terra whatever.
Something that's just not weak to play rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky. Oh my god, and then vacuum wave hits this guy too. Fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Keldio's a problem.
So that's why I had Scarf. I had Scarf Petra on my build.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you physical or special?
I'm special with Malignant Chain.
Yeah. That works, yeah.
It doesn't work obviously against like Terra, Poison Steel, but You know, that's what Last Resort Curse is for, or
Mm-hmm.
Destiny Bond.
Yeah. You do technically, if you like lock into a move though, technically you can just get roosted on by a couple of things, but
Yeah, for sure.
um,
Like, you
it's
know,
not a
I kind of get bodied by Keldeo, you
yeah,
know?
it's not a bad idea though. Yeah, I hear you. Or like this thing doesn't get anything to boost its shit, right? No,
Nah.
withdraw and defense scroll is crazy. Okay, Nightshade. Mm, yeah, I mean, shit. Now that you mention it, like we might have to be scarf pressure on here. Like, I feel like just a regular like spit def set with Cobra is so much better here. But
Yeah.
you might freaking need it here, unless we bring like Braviary. But Calm Mind will just do too much, I think, with Surf.
Yeah, it's going to be too much.
He would have to like make like Apple the Keldeo check, and then like
Yeah, that's how I did it in BVR. I was AV physical Hydrapple,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know if that's worth. I think I'd rather just be like Terra Fairy for Garchomp, and then
Yeah.
just like start it up and bring the Scarf Fetch.
Well, we could be like it would be like Terra Fairy, but like again AV or Spadef for Keldeo, and then like the Mola would probably be like the initial like Garchomp with like Icy Wind or something like Fizdef Mola. Um,
Yeah.
so that is a route you could do because technically like AV Apple can probably check both of these guys. It might have a bit of a hard time, but it can, especially if you're like a Terra type that resists the Secret Sword because that obviously hits on the physical side like Fairy. Um, that is an option too. I just well yeah, because Garchomp can't sub on L either if you're Icy Wind.
Yeah.
So that is a possibility actually, and technically like that can stall out the Mew by just spamming Icy Wind if it's DD. So at least he doesn't get the speed boost.
Yeah, the +1, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. If we're AV though, then we're not Yawn on this. Is there another
Oh, that's
type
pretty
we
bad
could?
then, not gonna lie.
Yeah, is there another like type that we could be that resists Secret Sword? Mm,
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, we could be like Spadef. I don't know if Spadef would cut it. We probably would have to be Assault Vest. I was gonna say we could be like Spadef with like Fickle, Terra Blast, and then like Plot as the last thing. But I don't know, or it could even be like Giga Drain or
Mm,
something, you know, just to beat the Keldeo. That might be better, like honestly, because then at least like sub CM is not a problem. Or we could literally be physical if you want. Like I don't think that really matters. We could be physical with like Fickle Beam, like some mixed crazy shit.
oh yeah, mixed. Yeah, that's what I brought. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like
And against L5, yeah, that's what I brought.
yeah. I remember that game. I didn't remember the sets completely, but yeah, I remember watching it. Um, that is a possibility. Like it would be like, what's its attack? 80.
Awful.
Yeah. It probably would just be physical, but like literally, yeah, just like Terra Blast, Fickle Beam is really all you need versus this team. Recover, and then the last slot. Let me see how much like Keldeo does at +1 if we're not Assault Vest. I don't know if it does too much. Like Surf to Hydrapple. If we're like Spadef, but we're not Assault Vest. Surf. Does a shitload.
Yikes.
Yeah, it does do a shitload.
Yikes. Yikes.
We do live one though, like always if we're boots. I guess if we're specs, like it could two-shot us, but we would know it's specs then.
Yeah.
That's probably the play. But then if we're ghost, we can't use it to check dark, right?
I don't think it specs anyways, because Aloe and Petron just
Yeah, I could just
pivot
switch in.
infinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be specs. It's not.
Yeah. We might have to be fairy though, because ghost means we don't have a play into dark right then. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Darkrai just slow zones us anyways. But our play is Aloe for Darkrai.
even if we're like Fizz Def though, you think? Because if we make this like this Fidef check, then we need this to be Fizz Def or Chomp, right?
Oh.
Or does this still tank Chomp like not bad with this? I mean, it might honestly. Ow, guard Chomp. If they're adamant, +2 on a switch, it's definitely scary. But I mean, even if we put this max defense, like, does it change the calc that much?
Yeah, it's only like a 5% difference.
Yeah. And Icy Wind's not gonna like kill it or anything.
It's like 30.
Maybe we just have to. Maybe we just have to go to Scarf Pesha then.
And Scarf Edge isn't bad. The Shadow Ball.
It's not bad. No.
It's like if Corvus is weakened, then Shadow Ball is like pretty free.
Yeah, and we can literally use it as just like a parting shot too if we want. So it would be like Shadow Ball, Malignant.
Then he has something else speeds Darkrai.
It should, right? Yeah, if we're max speed, it should. But Shadow Ball, Malignant, and then probably just like a niche move, like you said, like Curse or Destiny Bond, right?
Yeah.
Do you want parting as a like a momentum move, or do you want to just be attacking with this guy?
Hold on. How does parting shot work against mirror armor again?
So I think your stats get lowered. Oh wait, your stats get lowered, and then I think they switch out. Actually, I think.
Is that not Magic Bounce? I know that's how Magic Bounce works, but I don't know parting shot.
I might have to Google that. I'm not positive off the top of my head. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen that interaction. Let me see if I can Google it. Parting shot, mirror armor. Let's see. The end result would be parting shooter switch out. Yeah, so it would lower the stats.
Okay, so we would still switch. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I would. Okay, if we do that, I definitely test it because
yeah,
that would suck if
sure.
that's not how it works.
Yeah, for sure.
And then yeah, we could do like Destiny Bond or Curse. Is Foul Play like decent here? Could be. No, because Mew would outspeed though anyway.
Mew outspeed us anyways.
I guess if it's Swords Dance, it would be okay. But I don't know if Sword. It'd have to be like Sword. I think it's gonna be special. Like Vacuum Wave is too good.
I think it's special. Yeah.
It's way too good. So, we could probably just do D-Bond. The thing is, I feel like if I see a Scarf Pesharon, like, I might think of D-Bomb, but he might not have a better play anyway in that situation when you click it. So.
Yeah, D-Bond, Curse are both fine. Curse actually does go for stub, pretty sure.
Curse does, yeah, it does. Do you want to run Curse? We're not obviously recover on this set, so we wouldn't like have the health back, but we can again as a last ditch like thing if you want.
This is probably more consistent.
Curse? Okay, I'm down for Curse. Scarf. So we just want to outspeed Darkrai, I'm assuming here, right? After the Scarf.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think Pesharon's gonna be like Scarfed or anything like that. So let's do Pesharon. We could probably go Modest here, I'm assuming. +1. So we want to just make sure we're faster than. I mean, it's not going to be that much anyway. Yeah. It hits 384, right? I think Darkrai does. 180. So it would literally just be like an offensive freaking Pesharon. How much does Shadow Ball do to Corviknight?
Probably 30.
Pesharon to Corby. Is it going to be Fizdef or Spidef? Probably.
I would assume Fizdef.
Fizdef, right? Yeah, it should be Fizdef. So, Shadow Ball. Yeah, it does like.
Unless you're like bulk up setup Corv, I guess.
Yeah, it does about a third. So, after some chip, like maybe a knockoff into like Rocks, double Shadow Ball could potentially kill. He probably will be mirror armor here, just for like any spit death drops.
It could be pressure for Fickle Beam. Could definitely be pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it's better for us if he is pressure, but yeah, okay. I think that's fine. Okay. Oh, we didn't do the EVs on this guy. We probably just want to be faster than Keldeo, right? Like not just
Yeah,
because they could go
definitely.
max
Yeah.
speed. Obviously
And we're
vacuum
just gonna get
waves.
vacuum weight anyways.
Yeah, vacuum waves a thing, but for the crazy chance that they don't have it, I don't think the bulk on this guy is really that important. What Terra do we want to show for Keldeo?
Teacher Ghost.
Yeah, what's our move? We could also be a Terra that, again, like, what do we want to be spamming here more? Surf or Secret Sword? Probably Surf, right?
Surf.
So we could be a Terra that kind of deters, like, Shaman from coming in first. Like, again, like Flying or Poison or... Not Fire. Fire's crazy. It'd probably be Flying if we want to, like, fake the Shaman out.
But we could lure it in.
Yeah, again, that would
Because
just...
I feel like they're going to go Shaman first no matter what.
I mean, if I'm showing Terra Flying and I haven't Terra'd yet, like, I don't know. Because if you just lose your Shaman like that, then, like, Keldeo just kills everything after. So they would probably be a bit more careful, but... I don't know. They don't really have another play.
Like, if I show Terra Water, I can just go for a hard air slash.
You can, yeah. Or literally just Secret Sword into Air Slash, right? Should kill. If rocks are up. I'm cool with showing water then, too. I'm cool with that. That makes sense. Screw it. Maybe you might need it. I don't know. I mean, realistically, I don't think you are, but... So...
Yeah.
Okay, so again, the play with this guy is if you yawn the Corviknight, like, you attack the following turn, right? Again, expecting a switch. You probably do just straight up Fickle Beam, honestly, the first time. Because if Corviknight takes the sleep, then, like, it's just a free Keldeo click.
Oh, are we meant speed on a grapple?
No. We can be, though. I don't think Corviknight can even go slower than this, though, but we can.
Oh, okay,
But it might as well, though, right? Okay. So we can show Terra Water, that's fine. We have coverage on this guy, we have our rocker. And this is our pressure on switch. So how does Scarf Pressure on like die? If we just like take damage on something to sack it? Yeah. I think if you do some mocks with this team, something that might change is the Life Orb on Keldeo.
Life Orb?
Yeah, just because killing yourself could be really bad. Like, I think you're going to have so many opportunities with all the damn freaking momentum on this team to just get click attacks over and over and over with Keldeo that, you know, it might end up like just like biting in the butt. Because if Keldeo dies like semi earlier in the mid game, like it is kind of tough for you to maybe break some things here. But the damage is really nice. So obviously you just got to test. And then you can test your team too, obviously. Like that team straight up might be better. I don't know. But I think this is okay, like as a good starter build. It's still only Wednesday, so you have a lot of time. I'm assuming you're playing on what, like Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So you have plenty of time.
Yeah, so I got a lot of time.
Yeah. I don't know if anything else sticks out after this. I guess our lead. What are we gonna lead with this, huh?
So I guess like, what's our plan versus like Corviknight? It's like set up. Like say it's like Moringa Berry.
Oh, like they literally had last week.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess we just yawn it.
yeah,
huh?
I was gonna
Just
say
yawn?
you can yawn it, yeah. Obviously
Yeah,
if
it's
it
probably not
does,
sub.
yeah, if it does get the Moringa boost and then it does have a bulk up going, like it could still be kind of hard for you to kill it, even if it's like put asleep. So
Curse yawn.
yeah, you might have to curse it, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be able to boost its Spadef more than once, so but it can also be agility too, like if that's the set, so but like then what would it be, like agility? Would it be body press? Like I feel like body press makes the most sense into your
Power
team.
trip, I guess.
Oh, power trip, yeah, it could be power trip. So it'd be like agility, bulk up, roost, power trip. Um, well, it also can't really roost on you either, but yeah, because you can earth power it if it roosts. You'd probably just have to yawn and then yeah, just go into Keldeo, I
Yeah,
think.
yawn.
Yeah. And then just try to surf it down. Maybe in that scenario, like if for some reason Hydrapple is not Terra, you might have to Terra the Keldeo just to get more power versus it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is definitely a set to look out for. Yep, I agree. Um, as for leads though, like what do we want to lead here? We can't lead
Well,
something
we
that
want to
like
save. Well, do we want to Terra immediately on Drapple?
yeah. I was gonna say like we don't want to lead something where like we kind of have to switch versus Garchomp and it's not Hydrapple because then we don't really have a switch.
Yeah, I guess
So
Aloe.
yeah, it could be Aloe lead, could be Meowscarada lead, right? Because what forces out Meow lead? Darkrai,
Like lead Darkrai.
which we have our Aloe for. What else?
Could lead Aloe.
We could, yeah. So what would mean if they lead? What, like Shaman?
I mean, it's not going to kill. And like,
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't get
probably not going to Seed Flare.
yeah, it doesn't get knockoff anyway, so we're fine. Um, Aloe lead. If they lead Pesherant, what do we do? Just go treads. Yeah, I guess Aloe lead's fine. Mew lead would be a bit scary, but you just have to probably still flip turn. Garchomp versus Aloe. What are we doing? Just flip turning.
Uh, hmm.
If it's a lead Garchomp, it probably is gonna set up the hazards, but we have spin.
It probably should stop that then.
We can just slow flip turn into Hydrapple though, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna, even if it's like what banded freaking Earthquake, it's not gonna. We'll probably do like half, but we can just regen. So,
Like that point, can we just lead the Hydrapple to stop hazards? It's like fully.
but the thing is, if we lead Hydrapple, then and they lead like something that like we can't stay in versus like Pesheron, for example, then like we don't have our switch into Garchomp later because we didn't Terra. You get me? So like lead
Got it.
Aloe kind of lets us like Terra safely turn 2,
Got it.
if that makes sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But it's also like they would have to, if we don't Terra the Hydrapple and Garchomp comes in, like they would have to like just raw Dragon move right away to catch us. And
Yeah.
you know, we have a Treads, we have just a we have Fizdef guys. Like I don't know if they would do that. They
And I'll go
could
line. Max attack Dragon Move probably doesn't even kill that Drapple.
max attack Garchomp.
It has to be like Outrage, but like if you
Yeah.
click Outrage there, then we just Terra and then live it. Dragon Claw's not going to kill.
Yeah. Let's check it real quick. I'm kind of curious because it is going to be adamant for sure.
Yeah, we could probably just like hard swap Hydrapple into Garchomp.
Let's check Dragon Claw. Based off that damage, yeah, Dragon Claw won't kill. How about Outrage should kill, right?
Like, it has to be like Scale Shot.
Wait, what the fuck? That doesn't kill you? What? Oh, that's kind of crazy. So it would have to be like 5-hit skill shot. Even a 5-hit though doesn't kill you. What the fuck? I guess it can be boosting item if it's not dice. It can be like technically like it can be like a life orb chomp, right? Because
I guess.
you know just throwing off attacks versus into you is really good, especially if like life orb chomp, like 2 shots Mola.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if it does. It might.
Probably.
It's close. If we're Fizz Def though, it won't. But yeah, it could be. But that's fine though too. Yeah, I didn't realize like it just straight up lives. Kind of crazy. But yeah, I like lead Aloe here. It's fine. Lead Darkrai is, I mean, we're gonna lose our AV immediately, but it is our Darkrai pivot, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think this team is fine at least for the initial build, and then just testing and doing all that. It definitely is a tough matchup though, so don't get don't get discouraged if you get rolled in mocks. But
yeah,
I do appreciate you coming on though. Again, it was good having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was fun. I usually do have people on after a while, a second time, but we'll see, because I haven't been
Mm-hmm.
doing them too much because DPL does take a lot of my time now. So, but yeah, and then afterwards, just if you do some mocks or whatever, let me know. If you end up just changing the team completely and whatnot, and then obviously I'll review the game. The video should be
Yeah,
uploaded
I'll let
pretty
you
much
know.
right after you play because it's not Wi-Fi or anything. I don't gotta wait. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me again. Go check him out. I will have his channel in the description below, and then I'll see you guys in the battle. Peace. All right, guys, we're here for Who's DPL game versus 3D. Now, we did make some major changes to the pace, so I do have both pace kind of pulled up here to show you guys the difference. But again, this is a team tour game. It's not a league game, so he's got a whole team helping him out with ideas and giving him mocks and all that stuff. So it's definitely a more high-stakes game. So the first change is he went with specs instead of boots on Hydrapple. And it's because Terra Ghost is just really strong into 3D's team. The only Ghost Resist, I believe, was the Darkrai. And that obviously does not want to come in. If he clicks Fickle Beam, it just straight up dies. So Hydrapple can take advantage of a couple like slow things by just pivoting in, like Corviknight, and just throw off attacks. And I think that was whose idea behind the specs. Then he kept the Pestron, actually. Pestron is exactly the same with the Choice Scarf. And then the Keldeo, I believe, was exactly the same as well. Maybe just a little bit of different EVs there, but same life orb. He's showing Terra Ghost on Keldeo, but he's planning on Terraing the Hydrapple anyways. So next big change was he went with Scarf on Meow instead of Protective Pads. It's just a really good revenge killer for something like either like a Dragon Dance Mew or a Scale Shotting Garchomp. And it's just really good if it's faster than Darkrai to just U-turn and get the momentum, especially if he has Hazards up, which is where the next Pokemon that he actually changed. He added Carbink and Braviary and took off Alamamola and Iron Treads. And Carbink is really good because not only does it set up Hazards, but it can kind of check the Darkrai a couple of times. And again, the only removal on 3D's team, I think, was Corviknight. So if it doesn't have Defog, then the hazards are there to stay, which is really, really good. It'll help Who definitely win this game and wear down his team faster. And then Braviary we do have Defog on this since we did remove Treads, but again, we don't really want to click Defog if we get our hazards up. It's mostly there, I believe, for screens he mentioned. And then he threw on Whirlwind there just because there was like a Mew set, like a Draining Kiss, Nasty Plotting Mew, which is a bit scary. So Whirlwind is good to also, again, phase things around, especially if those hazards are up. So let's go ahead and get into the game. We see 3D pretty much brings what we expect. And he's going to show Terra Grass actually on the Mew. Sorry, he didn't bring exactly what we expected. He didn't bring the Keldeo 3D for some reason. And if you guys remember, yeah, like sub CM Keldeo was like what we were having the most issues with trying to prepare for. And I just don't understand why Keldeo is not here. Vacuum Wave is really, really strong. Plus Water Move. That's literally all you need into like Who's team. So it could have literally been Specs. It could have been like Taunt with Calm Mind. It could have been sub Calm Mind. Like, it could have been anything. And I think not bringing Keldeo is really, really good for a Who's side here. So we're going to lead with the Hydrapple. They lead Pesherant. So they just Malignant Chain immediately on our Terra Ghost. And Terra Blast does just straight up pick up the Pesherant. I have no idea what that play was, because if they didn't get that poison too, like it is literally just Pesherant sacked for nothing because obviously we have Regenerator. Getting the poison makes it a little bit like not bad, but yeah, I don't know. Like once they saw Terra Ghost on Hydrapple, I probably just wouldn't have led Pesherant because yeah, there's just no switching to Terra Blast. This is Specs. Maybe they thought they would live, but it wouldn't live by a lot anyway. So Pesherant doesn't have the greatest bit depth. So it's a really good start for Who. He's going to take the Pesherant down. So Darkrai comes in. That is our signal to just go ahead and get up a hazard, I believe is what he's going to do. I did see this game live, but I'm not making this video right after, so I don't remember everything exactly. But yeah, hazards there makes a lot of sense. Shaman comes in. We're going to see a double onto the Chomp, but that's good for us. We have a Meowscarada. We know we're faster because we're Choice Scarfed. And he does just simply U-turn for momentum, which is really, really nice. Now we have to go in for Keldeo. I believe he just wants to, like, he can surf this thing down if he wants, or Secret Sword. And then I suppose if Corviknight just Brave Birds and kills us, then it's really, really low. And that's really good for Meowscarada, so that's probably what he's thinking here. So we're going to Secret Sword. It's going to do a lot of damage. And they actually go for Light Screen, so that's good on them, so we can't just two-shot. So yeah, we can go Braviary here. And then we can just slow U-turn, honestly, or we can whirlwind. One of the two. Doesn't really matter. There's a whirlwind. Very nice. And he's probably just going to spam whirlwind and just, you know, stall out these screen turns. It's not like light clay or anything. It's just leftovers. So Shaman back to Corviknight over and over. Again, this is really good for who. So we're just getting chip on Shaman basically at this point. Now 3D finally just stays in and we'll take the whirlwind. And Shaman comes in yet again. So now we could just U-turn, right? Like, really unlucky whirlwind turns from 3D there. So, but we'll take it again. So we U-turn. Now we go Meowscarada, and we are threatening a potential Thunder Punch or a potential Trick here. So we don't have Thunder Punch, obviously. We go for the knockoff, and we get rid of the leftovers, which is really nice. I agree with that play. It's a good play. And, you know, we live. Maybe if it was Body Press, if we just straight up died to a Body Press, then I probably wouldn't agree with this play, but I don't know the calc off the top of my head, so I'm assuming he lives, though. Anyways, Darkrai comes in. Again, we have that Carbink. I'm assuming he's going to come in. Yes, it is. And we dodge a Thunder. Hell yeah. So we can get up a Spike now, right? I'm assuming. Ooh, he's actually going to double. Okay. So he doubled versus Darkrai as Carbink. That makes sense because, like, there's no way Darkrai just simply Dark Pulses a Carbink. So this is actually a bit better than a Spike, I would say. It's close because now we threaten a KO basically, unless he wants to make the Darkrai play. Spike does help with everything else though, so Spike could have been better there. I guess we don't know if this last move is defog. It probably is not though, considering it has Light Screen Roost U-turn. So Spike could have been nice, but this also should get him a KO here, I believe. Yeah. Goodbye Corviknight. Nice. So we are up 6-4 and rocks are up, so this is looking really good. Darkrai comes in. We go Carbink. I'm assuming, yeah, and they double to Garchomp. And now we sack Carbink. We see Life Orb Chomp. Was sacking Carbink the best play? Yeah. I mean, we have ways to kill Darkrai. We have double Scarf Mons. We have Vacuum Wave. So I don't think Carbink was needed. That's fine. Meowscarada comes in, threatens a triple axle kill. Fortunately, we missed into Shaman coming in. I wish the Keldeo had Icy Wind. I think I mentioned it, or maybe I was thinking about it when we were building. But he has Air Slash because it's for the Shaman. But I just think the power isn't that much of a difference, and Secret Sword hits the Shaman too. So, but we don't have it. So we go for Axel again. This should kill. So no big deal. I actually see a Policy, and we see 2 hits. So that's a really big turn. Missed Axel into 2 hits is really, really unlucky. And I don't think the game is over at this point. Like, I still think Who can very easily win. But had that Shaman died, then I think Who, like, automatically wins this game. Like, I don't see how he loses this 5 versus 3 with a Scarf Meowscarada still alive to basically revenge kill everything. Especially because Mew is showing Terra Grass, too. So that just really sucks for Who. I was talking to him after the game. I said, like, maybe not risking it. After the first miss, which sucks, you know, I said potentially just go Braviary and then slow U-turn and just don't risk the miss there, because you can slow U-turn. If he stays in, then you just go Meowscarada, you click U-turn again, kill this thing. If he switches, then when you U-turn, you just pivot into something else. But I kind of get the play, and, you know, it's very unlucky missing into 2 hits. So now we go Keldeo. We pick it off with a Vacuum Wave. I guess he wasn't sure if he was faster than Shaman, so we just Vacuum Waved. Garchomp comes in. Again, we don't have Icy Wind, so we have to Surf. Again, if we had Icy Wind, this dies, and we'd probably win with this guy, but Life Orb comes out, so it's only got 1 more hit left, and Pestron looks really good, actually. Scarf Malignant Chain looks really solid. Down goes Garchomp. Mew comes in, and we do not know what this Mew is at all. Because of the threat of, like, Dragon Dance, I think Who has to actually stay in here. Plus, if you poison this thing, it's pretty much game over, I think. So he does stay in, and he Malignant Chains. Does not get the poison, unfortunately. And we see a Swords Dance. So we know it's physical, so it actually doesn't have Vacuum Wave, which is a little crazy. If I'm Who, it's tough because he probably has to go for the Malignant here. This thing could easily be Lumberry, though, which is the thing. I think it is Lumberry, looking at how it's being played. if he switches here, like something dies, right? And then it's basically going to come down to if Hydrapple can live a +2 hit. It might be able to actually, so maybe you sack Braviary here, which is what he does. And then he's going to have to get the 50-50 poison on Darkrai, looks like, yeah. Because he goes into this guy, should live. Yep, Fickle Beam. Yep, kills. And then he's going to need the Malignant Chain Poison on Darkrai plus Confusion, I believe. Like, plus to hit himself. Or crit. Gets the poison. Confuse. Hit yourself. Nope. And who is going to lose a very, very close game? Yeah, I think so. Like I said when we were building, like this is a very hard matchup. So the fact that it became this close was really good on who. Plus, the Axel misses were huge. There wasn't really like any hacks in this game besides that, right? Like no really like crits that mattered, no misses. The Thunder missed on Carbank, but that didn't really matter. We ended up sacking Carbank anyway too. We ended up sacking Carbank anyway to Garchomp. That spike though, if we would have spiked, technically Darkrai would have died and he would have won the game. So that play is, it's 50-50. If it was me, yeah, I definitely would have spiked here instead of going Apple on the Darkrai. Because again, I think we can always weaken the Corviknight. I don't think it's a big deal that, oh, we need to get this kill right here and get rid of Corviknight. Because it was not defog on the Corviknight. So had the spike gone up, I actually think he wins that game because he can very easily just get in Corviknight. He can literally just go like Hydrapple the turn after as this thing roosts, you know. So maybe that's the one play that I would have changed that could have made a difference. But again, he missed Axel into 2 hits, so it's not really his fault. Again, hard matchup, and he still played it very, very well. So again, please go check out his channel. He's a great dude. He's a great battler. And he does Wi-Fi content. I believe he's like in first place right now for the BBR. So it's a team tour, high stakes game. So all these games are typically close. All these players are really good players. So I can't really, fault who for coming up a little bit short, but he played really well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys want to be part of this series, all you got to do is join the Discord down below and sign up in the Team Building with Zooch sign up channel with the words in, and I'll get you guys in the queue. I apologize. Obviously, the videos are coming out pretty slow, but DPL does take a lot of my time, plus work and IRL stuff. So I will get them out as soon as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.